on the move, on the hunt. So Aubrey found her, but we've been working in the area with the tracks, and we're about 50 meters away from him when she popped up. Okay, let's keep moving. So we knew those tracks were fresh. She'd been zigzagging through the blocks, hunting as we expected her to be. We found some tracks of Tlalamba. It looks like she's left Tlalamba somewhere behind us, and while she's hunting, and this could be very exciting. Hopefully she has a successful morning, because it'd be nice to have Thandi on a kill for a few days. As I say, I'm not 100% sure it looks like her, and I mean, those are the tracks we've been following. Oh, she's off into the block. She went the other way, Dave. Behind there. She went in there. See her there? There we go. Okay, she is going into a particularly difficult area. This thick area in here. But we will try to keep up with her. Okay, we got to keep moving here, guys. Sorry, she's going some thickets. Does chicken medicine Hokomori have to die for Tlalamba to survive? Not necessarily. If Thandi keeps far to the west, far to the east, which she's doing at the moment, there is a chance that Tlalamba might survive. But it all depends on if Tingana can sort of defend the Mawati as the last front. If that's the case, there's a very good chance that little Tlalamba will survive. Oh, she's changing direction again. There she is. Now, I just came down the road on the opposite side of here, and we didn't see much there. There was some Inyala around, but still quite far away. You can see she is relatively hungry. Now, Tlalamba will never be old enough to join Thandi on hunts. Leopards are solitary hunters. Tlalamba will do her own hunting while Mum's away, and squirrels and dwarf mongoose and lizards and things, but she will never really join Mum on a full hunt. She might be with Mum when Mum spots something, but then she'll sit back and let Thandi do the hunting. Now, Tlalamba's probably already made quite a few little kills, and scrub hare, if she gets close enough, yes, she's definitely big enough and strong enough to catch an animal like a scrub hare. Squirrels are another favourite at her age, occasionally francolin. Oh, she's quite intent in listening at something. Sorry, Dave, I'm going to take my foot off the brake. There we go. It looks like she might have heard something in the thickets up ahead. See her little... I love their tails when they seem to be concentrating, the little flick from side to side. Sitting down. I said this area is pretty good for Nyala, Duiker, steenbok. I'm just going to move forward for Tax so he can also come have a good look. Be careful, there are some big holes in this area as well. She's on the move again. So we can't see what she's moving towards or what she might have spotted. So just keeping our distance. It would be very exciting if she made a kill, because then she'd go fetch little Tlalamba. Right, there we go. Okay, you see it, Dave? So she's right here, and there's a steenbok. There's a steenbok just behind. You see the steenbok, Dave? That's an ideal prey size for her. She's less than 10 meters away at the moment. The steenbok's looking quite alert. So we're not going to move the car anymore now. I can't see her currently. Okay, we're going to get our friends from all over the interwebs to join us. So I'm going to keep quiet for a few seconds. Welcome everyone to a live leopard hunt here in the African bush. We don't want to spend too much time off that little antelope. My name is Brent April. I have Dave on camera with me. There is a female leopard just next to us in the bushes here, and she's busy stalking that little antelope there. So we're going to keep the camera on the antelope. We've lost sight of her as she's sneaking closer and closer. That little antelope is called a steenbok. If you have any questions, just pop them on the feed below. The steenbok is unaware that the leopard is right there. Probably not quite close enough to pounce just yet. Can you see? You're a bit higher than me, Dave. Last place I saw her was about there, and on the other side of this bush. No, we can't see her at the moment. So it's very important for us not to move around too much in these situations. We're here to observe what happens. We're not here to give the prey or the predator the benefit. Kristen, this is amazing. This is 100% live coming to you from South Africa and the Sabi Sands Game Reserve. And we're with one of our favourite leopards, whose name is Thandi, the loved one or the beloved one. Now, Katie, there's very little wind on this early morning, so it's not really favouring anyone. And in a lot of cases, the animals will try, well, the animals don't take as much notice of the wind as you would think. I'm just trying to see if I can catch a glimpse of the female. Now, Cupid, we don't see that many live kills because most kills end in disaster if you are the leopard. They only have a success rate of about 12%, so only a 1 in 10 hunts end up being successful. Oh, you can hear all the birds this morning as well, all around us. The dawn choruses making lots of noise. So we're just trying to see if we spot her. She'll be moving very, very, very slowly. Oh, the steenbok's on the move, heads down. Now when it's heads down, she might take this opportunity to sneak a few places forward. Leopard are ambush predators. They like to be within about 5 meters before they pounce. They're capable of incredible speed, but only over a short distance. So you can see that little antelope is completely oblivious. Or it might have spotted the leopard. Now it's looking towards the area where we last saw the leopard. Ellen, yes, they do normally live in pairs. They are one of the few monogamous antelopes we get here. And is that a little male or a little female? I didn't actually have a look. Let's have a look. Oh, okay. Little female, I think. Yep, no horns, little female. Now they live in very small areas, about a hectare or 2. China, yes, this leopard has 1 cub at the moment. She's about just under 5 months old, and her name is Tlalamba, which means the playful one. So this would be an ideal sized prey for her. She's quite old. She's about 11 or 12 years old, 11 or 12, I can't remember exactly at the moment. So prey like impala and inyala are becoming a little bit more difficult for her to lift up into the trees to keep it safe from hyenas and lions. But a small antelope like a steenbok is sort of ideal size that she wouldn't struggle at all to take it up a tree. Just trying to peer forward here a little bit, see if I can get any glimpse of the leopard. So she was just trying to, maybe I can spot her quickly. Mandria, I don't think the cub is watching mom hunt at all. The cub has been left far away. What happens is little leopard cubs often get in the way and cause havoc for the female. They disturb the hunt. I can't see her, but she must be behind this little bush here somewhere. And steenbok is still just there behind that little white berry bush. YouTube viewer says prey animals shouldn't be cute. I suppose it does make it a little bit more difficult to see them being eaten if they are sweet and cute. There you go. That. Speaking of it, well, it's getting its last meal, at least if Thandi is successful. Munching on, well, I can't really see what plant it's munching on there, but it is having a good meal at the moment. Now, interesting about these little steenboks is they are not dependent on water. They will drink water when it is available, but they are quite happy to get all the moisture they need from the dew on the grass. I think I saw her, Dave. So, come out a little bit. There. I just saw something moving in the grass. In there. Okay, let's keep wide. The steenbok's walking straight to where we think she is. So she might burst at any second. Of course, they're going to do it behind the bush. Now, if she does catch it, remember, if you are sensitive, you might not want to watch this. Sometimes these little animals will make some distressing sounds and struggle. Can you see anything, Dave? So what I'm doing now is using my ears to listen. If we can't see anything, we're going to have to listen to what happens. And often you can tell whether it's successful or not just by listening. I can't see the steenbok anymore. Lynetta says, I hope the big cat doesn't get the deer. Well, Lynetta, it's definitely not going to catch a deer because we've got no deer in Africa. It's a little antelope. Okay, I'm going to just see if we can roll. No, I thought that there was enough of a slope to just roll forward slightly. So we don't want to start the car now. Let's try peering here again. So the steenbok was moving that way. I don't think it moved too far, but it did definitely move closer towards where we last saw the leopard. Now, this is where patience is very important when following big cats. Because if we started the car, moved the car at the wrong time, it could either distract the antelope that the leopard has an easier job, or it could distract the leopard and the antelope might escape. And as I said, we're here to observe and we're not here to interfere. Cheryl, good on you. Cheryl says, this is amazing. I'm going to be very patient. It is the right thing to be, Cheryl, and it is patient. I'm just trying to see where the steenbok he's gone. Okay, I see the steenbok, Dave. I think. Jana, I would like to move the car, but until I'm 100% sure where everything is and what's going on, I'm not going to move the car because I don't want to affect the hunt. It's not the steenbok I saw, it's a stick. So I'm just trying to check carefully, see if I can see either the leopard or the steenbok, and then we can make a decision on whether to move the car if we're not going to affect what's happening. Dave, you can't see the steenbok from up there. Johnny, I'm not sure actually what time it is. It's in the morning. It's probably around 7 o'clock, I'd guess. Maybe just after 7 a.m. I think it is. I thought maybe if I straighten my wheels, we might roll, but no such luck. So we saw her coming down here. She spotted the steenbok, started stalking through the bush. We hadn't seen the steenbok yet. I think she's just here, but if that steenbok's moved off, she might do the same. So what I'm going to do, I can't see anything. I think it's probably safe now. I'm just going to move the car a tiny bit forward. Now, in these situations, if you do have to move a car, it's very important that you start and you leave the car running for a few seconds before moving. It just keeps all the animals a little bit more calm. So I'm just going to slide forward a tiny bit. And as soon as I can. Okay. Now, we can't see the antelope. Now, let's see if we can see the leopard. See, if the antelope has run off and we've missed it, she might have slunk off as well. There's something there. That could be the steenbok. And this shows you how incredible a leopard's camouflage is. Okay, I'm going to try again slightly forward, but basically so all we're trying to do is just see what's going on. There's the leopard. So the steenbok I think has escaped. You see her, Dove? You got her. She's coming back towards us. Maybe not escaped. Might have spotted her. Just judging from her behavior. Look at that. How's that for camouflage? Well, she's moving away now. Okay, well, I think the hunt is over, but what we'll try to do is get you a nice big, good, clear view of the leopard, because we've only seen a few spots through the bushes. On the steenbok. She's just changing her line of attack. You see her, Dave? You see her there? So basically, yeah, you got her. There she is. So you can see how well that camouflage works. She's lying down now, watching carefully. Now, for those of you, where's my finger, Dave? Let me just try to do this. For those of you wondering, there. So if you're battling to see her, that's her just behind my finger there. A little bit lower. There. Isn't that incredible how good that camouflage is? You see her moving? Johnny says, man, you guys are living the dream. Indeed we are. She's about to go. Get ready, Dave. Looks like she's about to pounce. So all her muscles are sort of curled. She's ready for that incredible burst of speed. And you can do 24 meters a second for a short distance. As I say, they like to be very close to their prey. Oh no, she sat down again. Now, as I say, you got to be very patient with these things. Did you see the steenbok? Did it run through? I think the steenbok spotted her and ran through. So maybe the other member of the pair spotted her and gave warning and ran through. So I think, unfortunately for her, the hunt is up. You can see she's sitting up now and staring off into the bush. Okay, well, we're going to say goodbye to all of you joining us, but you never know when we might go live again, or you could join us by just typing Safari Live on the internet, and you'll find us out here for 6 hours a day, every day. Bye. Okay, the steenbok ran off. We're going to try and find a way to move around to the other side of these thickets. Now, it's going to be interesting to see which way she goes from here. Watch the thorns there, Dave. Okay, we're going to keep up with our beloved Thandi. While we do that, let's see if Rolf and James have had any luck with leopards on the western side of Djuma. Here we go. She's just stopped in the grass and she's listening again. See her ears panning from side to side. You can see how she's listening intently. You can see the odd little spider web catching the light in the grass as well. Now, as anyone who's been on bushwalk in the last couple of days knows, that it's been quite sticky with all the grass pollen out. Okay, let's move forward a little bit. You can see how difficult it can be to spot a leopard out here. They just disappear. Hello, Thandi. How's that, Dave? Forward, back? She's probably just licking off all that sticky grass pollen. Leopards at this time of the year are mostly finding their prey by hearing, Carol, and not so much by smell. Hearing and sight are the dominant sort of senses when it comes to hunting. Sometimes they will use smell, but mostly it's hearing and sight are the two dominant senses. There you go, all the sticky grass. So I quite often, especially in the early morning when the dew is very heavy, we will find the leopards walking down the road. They don't particularly like being sticky and wet from the grass. Now, there's a lot of different theories about why they flick their tail during the hunt, as we watched her there. Cheryl, I think it's concentration, that she's showing concentration. Look at that. She's giving herself a good bath. And so she doesn't look like she's starving by any means, but with a young cub to feed, she's got to do quite a lot of hunting. And slowly but surely we are working out her sort of her new sort of routes and routines now that she's moved further to the east of Djuma. Now, there are some very difficult areas in here, which does make her a little bit more difficult to find, but if it keeps little Tlalamba safe, it's definitely worth it. Now, sorry, I'm just going to call Taxon quickly. She seems to be watching Taxon drive past. You can hear the Franklin calling. I think, as I said, I thought she might head back to the road. Tax Aubrey, she's heading back towards Drakensberg. Now, what could have happened with those steenbok, especially with the pair, they will sometimes chase each other about in the morning. Now, what I think actually happened is possibly one of the other steenbok that she hadn't spotted might have seen her. So there you go, that little tail flick again. Now, with cubs and that little tail flick gives the cubs a spot to follow, as white and black are the two most easily seen things out in the African bush that stick out the most. We are just so privileged to spend this quality time with Thandi. I'm hoping she's going to be around this afternoon as well. Oh, the steenbok's back. The steenbok, so I said they were probably chasing each other around. The steenbok is right there. You see it, Dave? A little bit to the right. There we go. So that's the male steenbok. That is a separate steenbok. It's a different steenbok to the one we saw earlier. So I said they could be chasing each other around, which they do quite often in the mornings, the male and females. Sort of a bit of morning exercise, a bit of morning joy. Now you can see her, she's moving around. This is a better area now because it's quite a bit thicker here. So she's got a better chance to sneak closer than where she was earlier. See how she's jogging around. The steenboks have run back. They're in between where I am now and you, and she's stalking again. Okay, I've lost sight of her. She's gone, actually there she is, she's gone quite far, she's going round. You've got her, Dave's got her. Just through the thickets. Okay, let's just wait a little bit. I'm just trying to see if I can see the steenbok again. Okay, so when she's moved off that way, so we're in a position where we're not going to interfere. So I'm just going to move the car slightly up to the side so we can see if we get a glimpse of her coming around. So I'm going to just make sure we're in the right spot. Can you see her, Dave? Not yet. So the steenbok moved off that way. And she's gone through here and is coming around. Now, of course, there's always that conundrum because steenbok are monogamous. And they do mate for life. But if one dies, they will find another partner. So just moving very slowly. This is sort of ideal sort of country for her to hunt in. And nice mixed broken bush, lots of spots for her to hide. So we don't want to interfere, so what I want to do, okay. We're going to wait. We've got the steenbok now. You see it, Dave? Okay. Now, of course, we can't see Thandi at the moment. Now, we've got to remember that there's 2 steenboks around here somewhere. But I'm not sure whether that's the male or female. Okay, we're going to stand by here, but if anything happens, we'll come straight back. Let's send you across to Ralph. Have you spotted her, Dave? Oh, the horns. I thought Dave, I was going to see. So it is the little male steenbok. So she was hunting the female earlier, but she's now, looks to be after the male. But he seems to be quite aware. He's not really... Well, he could be just chewing the cud. We can't really see too clearly from where we are. I've been keeping a very close look on the thickets to the right, which is where she'll be coming from. I haven't managed to spot her yet. I think what she's hoping is that steenbok keeps moving. Now, depending on what's happening, Marcy, sometimes she can spend 3 or 4 days away from her cub. And that's not unusual, especially if she's really desperate for food, for the cub and for herself, of course. Now, of course, what Thandi is hoping is that she doesn't get spotted by francolin or birds or any other creature that might give away her presence to the steenbok. And you've got to remember, it is really tough to hunt. And you've got to sneak around, you've got to hope that you're not spotted by anything that might start shouting and send up the alarm. Steenbok moving again. Now when it moves like that, you always want to just check behind to see if you can see any sign of the leopard moving. I can't see anything, can you, Dave? This is really thick country here, which is good for her. And sometimes leopards choose the wrong sort of spot because I think she thought the steenbok was going to go that way. He's now sort of going more towards the east. Lost sight of him now. So he went off behind that bush there. Now, I don't think the steenbok can smell Thandi, Jennifer. There's a little bit of a breeze, but not really in anyone's favour. Let's just try and have another look for Thandi behind us. Still no sign of her. Steenbok's moving quite far away. My world, your music says, "Come on, girl." Yes, come on, Thandi. Oh, that steenbok's disappeared now. I saw him go. straight west through that gap there. Still no sign of her. I think she might have chosen the wrong line. Oh dear. We're going to sit quietly here for a bit longer and see if anything happens. While we do that, let's go across to James, who's hot on the tail of Shidulu. There you go. Well, isn't that beautiful? She came back towards where we were sitting, and as I said, I think she lost sight of the steenbok as it disappeared, and it actually went the opposite direction to where she's looking for it now. So she was hoping it was working towards the south, but I think, as I say, she's lost sight of the steenbok. She might just sit for a little bit and try and listen again. Now, anything's possible, Granny Peg, but for her to catch two steenboks in one go would be quite something. But I mean, it's in theory it's possible, but it's really, really unlikely. Now, if we have a look, oh, she's on the move again. Coming out into the open. She's going to where she last saw the steenbok. Even though the steenbok moved far away from there, she did not see it move because she was trying to loop around and get ahead of it. Okay, so let's have a quick look where we are. We are currently over here. Oopsie. Over here. So when we found her tracks, they came down here. They went like this. And that's where the tracks of Tlalamba are. And then she turned around and she came straight back onto where she's just come from. So looping and looping and looping while hunting. Okay, we're going to have to do some maneuvering. Can you see her, Dave? She's going behind us now. Coming back. There we go. Off she goes. Behind us. Now, what she might try to do now is find the scent of where that steenbok's been, even though they normally rely far more on their hearing and on their eyes for hunting. If she lost something in long grass like this, she might definitely look for the scent of where that steenbok's been to try to give her a direction to follow. And she's going exactly where that steenbok walked, so I'm going to have to do some maneuvering. And as I say, that steenbok moved off by itself. Okay, well, hopefully we've got Thandi. Rolf can find the other female in the area, Shidulu. Well, it's not over yet. Thandi is still on the move after these steenbok. And this is now the female. Last one she was hunting was the male. Now, she is underneath this little fallen bush willow right next to us here. So you can see a little bit to the left there, Dave. A little bit more to the left. A little bit more down. She's there. Every now and then I just see a tiny bit of movement from her. Now ideally she wants to get towards that dead tree. And then I'd say she would be close enough. Very, very exciting. So The steenbok's moving off. His head's down. There she comes. There she comes. Let's go on to join and get everyone to join us for Across the Webs, and quite quickly if we can, Lukey. Welcome everyone back to the African bush. We are with a female leopard that is stalking a little antelope called a steenbok. It's just through there. She is getting very, very close. She's going to pounce soon. So let's just stick on the leopard for now. My name is Brent. I've got my friend David on camera, and this is coming to you live from South Africa. Look how that leopard's creeping along the ground, getting closer and closer to the potential prey. Now, if you want to ask any questions, please pop them on the feed below. Remember, this is 100% live. This is happening right now in real time from South Africa in the Greater Kruger National Park. We're on a game reserve called Djuma, private game reserve, and we're with one of our favorite leopards. Her name is Thandi, and she is about between 11 and 12 years old. And that little antelope is a perfect size morsel for her and her cub, who's just under 5 months old. Tlalamba is her cub's name. So she's got to provide food for not only herself, but for her little one. She is getting very, very close to that little steenbok. It has no idea she is there. It is busy feeding. You see it, you can just see its ears through the bush there. It's munching on a little bush there, having a scratch at the moment. She's getting ready, Dave. She almost looked like she was going to pounce. Did the steenbok run away? Oh dear, isn't this exciting? Look at her. There we go. She's getting closer and closer. Now, we can't move the car at the moment. We don't want to disturb what's going on. Oh, it's right there. Let's stay on the steenbok, Dave. It's walking right towards her. Oh dear. I think just be warned, if you are a sensitive viewer, if she does catch it, sometimes these little creatures can make some very distressing noises in their death throes. Just to the right of the dead tree there, that's where the steenbok is. So there is where the steenbok is, and she, of course, is just on the other side. Now, this is very, very close. As I say, we can't move the car, we can't do anything now. We have to wait and let it play out. We're not here to help the steenbok or the leopard. We're here to watch nature take its course. The steenbok has now moved even closer to the leopard. I've lost sight of it. It's moved behind that dead tree, and the leopard is somewhere in that little thicket there. And she's probably going to explode out of there at any second now. Natalie, indeed, it is amazing. It's incredible that we're able to bring this to you live from the African bush. A leopard hunting in its natural habitat, in its element, from one of the greatest wildlife destinations. What have you spotted, Dave? The steenbok or the leopard? Oh, she's so close. Now you can see that leopard's camouflage, well, working very well because we can't see her, but we know she's there. I can't see the steenbok at the moment. So you'll hear there's other cars around us, and they say they can still see the little antelope. Ah, there we go. I see the antelope now. So it's probably about 3 meters. Oh, the antelope's moving away from where she is. Now, not because it's spot. There she goes. She's got it. She's got it. She's got it. She's got it. Hold on, everyone. There she goes. She's caught it. She's managed to get hold of the throat very, very quickly, as to make sure that it doesn't make any sounds. How's that, Dave? Oh, they're just going to go past the game drive vehicle. There we go. So what she's done is she's grabbed it around the throat very, very quickly to make sure it couldn't make any of those distressing sounds I was talking about. So those distressing sounds will bring in animals like hyenas and lions. So she wants to get hold of that throat grip as fast as possible to ensure that she doesn't bring in any potential other predators, such as I was saying, hyenas or lions. Let's just try in here. So the animal is still struggling. It is still alive. She is still suffocating it. How's that, Dave? You okay there? And just try a little bit further forward. There. Oh, you're in the tree. You okay? So the animal is still alive, but there's quite a lot of the kicking has stopped. It was a very fast, quick kill. Sometimes that doesn't happen like that. Well, isn't this incredible? We've just witnessed a live leopard kill from the middle of the African bush. Camilla, indeed, nature is phenomenal. And this you don't get to see every day. I'm out here every day, and we still don't get to see kills very often. And one must remember to be sensitive towards the little steenbokkie. And shame, it's a monogamous pair, so the male's going to have to find another female, but we've got to remember that Thandi has got a cub to feed. So this will go a long way in feeding her. There we go. So here we go. Now what she's going to do is she's going to try find a spot or to drag it. She'll look either up into a tree to place it to be safe. Sometimes she might hide it underneath a thicket, but I'm pretty sure she's going to go from here to collect her cub a little later. Once she's sure it's dead, she will stash it somewhere and then go fetch her little cub so her cub can feed on the steenbok as well. Abdul, with a small animal like this, you can see it was quite quick. It's already over. That animal's dead. She's now looking for a spot where she can either put it up a tree or stash it. So we're going to keep following her to find out where she does that. She might have a few bites. You okay there, Dave? We had to part ourselves in a bush. I'm watching. Thanks, Dave. So she might stash it in a tree. She might stash it on the ground. She might feed a little bit before going to fetch the baby. She is in quite a thick area, so we're just trying to plan our way to get in there. Looks like she's drinking the blood. Okay. We're going to have to try and get through here. Lots of big stumps in this area. Now you will see there are other... Have you got a view through there, Dave? That looks like it'll work. There we go. And amazing, how quick was that? So she's been stalking on and off these steenbok for probably an hour, and the actual pounce and kill is over in a matter of a minute. Well done, Thandikila. Your little daughter will be very happy. Julie, indeed, incredible strength and speed. The speed of a leopard always amazes me. So there we go. She's going to drag it off again. Now, sometimes, with a small prey like this, she might drag it for well over 1 kilometer back towards where the cub is. Wowee, guys. What a way to start your Saturday morning. Well, morning for us. I'm not sure when it is for you. was absolutely amazing, and we're going to say goodbye shortly. I just want to see if we can get you a view of her dragging off her quarry. There it is. So she's from all of us here at Safari Live. Thank you for joining us on an absolutely incredible moment out here in the African bush. A live leopard hunt and kill. Oh my goodness, guys, how exciting is this? I'm very excited because it also means that we're going to get to see Tlalamba today, and we should see her both this morning and this afternoon because they've got a kill. We haven't had a nice stable leopard kill for a while with Thandi and Tlalamba. Okay, let's keep up with her. Wow, 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 guys. Wasn't that unbelievable? So we think she left Tlalamba not too far from here. So what she'd probably do is try to drag the carcass for quite a while, as close as she can to Tlalamba. They'll do that with small carcasses like a steenbok or duiker, but with something bigger like an impala or whatnot, they'll just generally take the first available spot to be able to hoist or hide, because Thandi's quite a small leopard and she's getting a bit older now, so she struggles to hoist bigger prey like impala and whatnot, but with a steenbok she should almost certainly take this up a tree. There we go, she's dragging it straight down the road where we started tracking her this morning. You can see that very distinct drag mark behind her as she drags that poor unfortunate steenbok. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get ahead of her so we can watch her from the front. Okay, let's keep moving. We're going to try to get up ahead of her to see her dragging that carcass. While we do that, let's send you back to Rolf to see if he's had any luck on the western side of Djuma. Well, as you can see, she's starting to show a bit of fatigue from dragging that carcass. I think she might take it up one of these big marula trees here. So there's 2 or 3 ideal trees for her to place that carcass in. It's okay, Tans. We're not moving, we're keeping still. We're far from you. So we're just keeping very still. You've done very well this morning. You can hear the squirrels in the background starting to shout. So what she's going to take it up the tree. She might then have a little rest before going to fetch Tlalamba. Now you will hear the other game drive vehicles talking behind me. You can see it's not uncommon for a leopard to drag, stop for a little rest, drag again, catch her breath. Now she's already dragged it probably 500 or 600 meters, so quite far, and off she goes. There she comes. Sebastian, there's always a very big threat to losing a kill to hyenas. That's why when she caught it, she suffocated it very quickly, made sure it couldn't make any sounds, that might have alerted the hyenas to her presence. And then she's now dragging it more for ease closer to where Tlalamba is. And now it doesn't look like she was going to go up the marula tree. I thought she might. And where are you off to now? Now she is, again, more or less heading in the area where we think she left Tlalamba. She might, if Tlalamba's close enough, she might even drag the kill all the way back to where Tlalamba is. Cheryl, no, she hasn't started calling the cub just yet. So I'm going to keep up with her as she's going. Now, there's lots of decent trees for her to hoist here. As I said, I think she might be just moving back towards where little Tlalamba is. Dave, I think the last leopard kill I had on camera with you. Ah, there we go. Taxon said they've spotted Tlalamba. So, as I said, we thought she might be dragging the kill back to where she left Tlalamba. Thanks, Taxi. Okay, so what we're going to do is wait behind her now. The cub should appear at any moment now. Very, very exciting. And I was saying, I think the last leopard kill I had with Dave on camera was a scrub hare, Dave, with Quarantine on Cheetah Plains many moons ago. Now, some of those squirrels alarm calling could be for Tlalamba coming towards. So what we're going to do is just going to go up ahead, and then we're going to stop and wait. And all of us are just going to play the patience game for her to bring out little Tlalamba. While we keep up with her, she's still dragging the carcass. Let's send you back to Rolf so you can finish. Well, Thandi's just called. We just had a view of Tlalamba coming scurrying in. There she is. She made it there so quickly. She bounded in to see Mom through the long grass. So very, very happy that Mom has managed to catch her some dindin, and they've stashed the steenbok carcass under this weeping wattle, which will be a nice one to go. And unfortunately, I can't move forward here. There's lots of aardvark holes. So we're going to have to move around to where Taxon is, otherwise one of us is going to get stuck, because there's some big holes up ahead of us. So let's do that quickly. You can see holes all around here. Aardvark's been busy. Now, let's see if I can... Oh no, that's just asking for trouble to try and go through there. Craig, the kill roughly probably around 12 kilograms, 13 kilograms, an adult steenbok. We nearly went into a hole there, and it would not have been good for us at all. Okay, so at the moment, it's easier for the leopards to feed on the ground, so that's what they'll probably do. I think they will stash it up into this pultiforum, or the weeping wattle that's there. Now, as you can see, this is the edge of those aardvark burrows, that some of them that have collapsed, so that's why I didn't want to drive in there, because they would collapse. So they're just in this little thicket here. I don't know if we're going to get much of a view, unfortunately. There we go. You see her eating there? Yeah. It's very, very thick in there. You can see. There we go. Well done, Thandi. Now what happens now, I think she's resting, giving herself a preen, while Tlalamba will be feeding. Well, as I say, I think from the tracks we had of Tlalamba, we're less than a kilometer from where she caught that steenbok. So we knew she was close by, and as soon as she started dragging it this way, I'm pretty sure she dragged it almost to exactly where she had left Tlalamba, so it was much easier for them to come out. Nita, Tlalamba, I think, is a bit old to be suckling now. I haven't seen Tlalamba suckle once in the last 6 weeks, so no, I don't think she's still suckling. She's on a meat diet at the moment. Okay, so that's Thandi. We'll try and get around. These holes are making life a little bit difficult. Okay, I'm going to have to go the long way around. As little steenbok like that, Carol, that'll probably last them till tomorrow afternoon. It all depends on how hungry little Tlalamba is. If she eats quite a lot, then it could be gone even by end of safari tomorrow morning. But most likely till tomorrow afternoon or during the day, at some point tomorrow, that carcass will be finished. That is, of course, unless they lose it to hyenas. Hopefully not. Hopefully she does put it in a tree. Thandi isn't the biggest hoister of kills. Quite often she will leave kills on the ground. But I'm hoping because it's small enough that she might take it up a tree. Okay. Anyway, let's try to see if we can get a view of Tlalamba feeding. Now, oh dear, these artfark poles are everywhere. Whoop, there we go. Just collapsed, so we didn't go too deep, fortunately. You got a gap through there, Darby. I think. Have you got her there? No, okay, I'll try from the other side. It's hopefully going backwards we don't sink even more. Okay, let's try from in front of Tax there. I think we're talking about Tlalambas up here. Okay, let's just have one quick squiz. Okay, while we try to get a good view, let's just wait here. It looks like the little one's up there somewhere. But while we figure out exactly what's going on here, we'll send you back across to Ralph. Well, there we go. Thandi and Tlalamba. Tlalamba busy being groomed by Mom. The kill just behind them. So as I said, they don't seem too hungry because they haven't started munching just yet. A bit of mother-daughter time before getting stuck into that poor little spenne. Now, spenne is the Shangaan name for a steenbok. Doing a bit of de-ticking. Come on, Tlalamba, show us your face. Stop getting all the tickles from Mom. Matt, I would say it's instinctual. Their movements back to the exact spot where they left their cubs and whatnot is ingrained in them. So there we go, there's little Tlalamba looking at us now. Here we go. Isn't that wonderful? So, here we go. Look at biting Mom's ears, having the best time. Azura, yes, if a male leopard happened upon here, it would steal the kill from them. But it's unlikely that there's going to be another female in this area, unless Shadulu goes on a very long walk. This is very much almost the core area of Thandi's territory at the moment. Isn't this special? And yeah, back to playing with Mom's ears. Oh, now we're going to give Mom a bit of a lick. Now, Thandi has been giving us quite the runaround over the last week, but when we do find her, it is turning out to be worthwhile. So, what an amazing morning to have her catch a steenbok right next to us, drag it off, and then bring out the bonus in little Tlalamba. Okay, we just need to move the vehicle so we can make space for someone else to join us, but we're not leaving, don't worry. Just need to turn so yours can get a view as well. Okay, so while we are moving, we're just going to send you across quickly to see. I couldn't hear who. It was either Rolf or James. And there we go. Little Tlalamba is playing around. She's been jumping up and down the trees. And she's probably going to start trying to feed shortly. And just disappeared into the grass there. Now, we're going to make some space here, for there's quite a few other vehicles that want to get in and have a look at the sighting, but we will be back here this afternoon, and we will not leave here this afternoon. We'll spend the whole drive with them, but while the other guys want to get in and have a chance to see the leopards, we're going to let them have a chance to come in. I heard a report that there might be some lions not too far away, so I'm going to go see if we can maybe find a lion before the end of drive. Okay, so we're going to make space for the others to come in.